Alright, quick video doing some ballasting on my layout, and I needed a vacuum to clean up materials from the layout, ballast, turf and soil, static grass, foliage, things like that. And the shop vac, I have a mini shop vac, like 2.5 gallon, and it's too powerful, and I was thinking of making some kind of valve equipped kind of flexible end piece for it, where I'd like open up a port so that it would have suction at two different places, so I could vary the amount of suction going to the layout. But the hose from that tends to bump into stuff, and it's not great solution. It's too big for layout work. So I was looking for hand vacuums online, and I was looking at first just home hand vacuums and like pet grooming vacuums and stuff, and they're a little big. And then I thought, well, keyboard cleaning vacuum might be good. So I was looking at those, and a lot of them are like blower vacuum combos that don't seem to really be great. But what I found is this little guy here. Let's see, I'll back the camera up so I can get it all in the frame. $12. Came with two nozzles. I'm gonna put this. I had some ballast in my hand I'm gonna demo it with. So I'm just using sand for ballast here. Just good because it's pretty big, but it still works. And I'm gonna put finer ballast in between. But I wanted to use something cheap to experiment ballasting. Made a little pile of sand here. I'm gonna use like washes on this to get it the color I want, but it's just this white sand, and takes color okay. Tried painting some, worked good. So this little guy came with a tip, two tips. They fit in there nicely, securely, kind of tight. You just take this off, hold some materials so you could reuse them. One side has a little tab here that clicks in. The other side doesn't have quite the same setup, so you want to get the little arrow to, there's a tiny little arrow on the surface of this thing somewhere. Oh yeah, it's on this side, little arrow. Snaps in place, and this thing works, like, and it's USB rechargeable. There's a little plug on the bottom. It comes with a cable. I mean, for $12, all that ballast that I dropped in between, I actually had some more that I need to pick up. This stuff's glued down. The tips, the brush is just right. Doesn't pick up what's glued down. It does pick up what's not. No ballast left underneath there from the little pile I threw in. I'll do it again. So it's not glued down. It's going to take it. A couple little drops there, no big deal. It's not the most strong vacuum in the world, which is what you want for just testing the scale of the roadbed spare track, no big deal. Anyway, so it's not the strongest vacuum in the world, which is great because it won't suck up materials that you don't want. Like, I just sucked right up some, I was using my shop vac, and some materials that I had glued down came right up because I got the tip too close, and it just sucked everything up. This thing, I don't think it'll take these bigger rocks here that I have. I'll zoom in. This is just plaster straps that I'd colored, so I don't mind messing this up because it's just a test. It won't take the bigger rocks. Well, it will if you get it right on them and they're not glued down, but with some difficulty, so it really works on spot places. So I did all that. So I turned it off. And I just want to tap everything down. You can't see what I'm doing. Zoom out. So turn it off. Tap everything so it kind of falls down into here. The little spout inside extends. So I did it over here and nothing fell out, so it seems okay. And now I have all my materials still. All that. Yay! I mean, this for 12 bucks, it's like, that's gonna, I mean, considering the cost of good materials in time and money, you know, this isn't, no money involved in these little bits of plaster, but I painted them and mixing the paint to the right shade and all that. I don't want to do it again. Sand, I could throw it out because it's just sand. It was like $5 for a lot. But Woodland Scenic's ballast, like this stuff, I think it was like $15 for the bottle, which is fairly cheap considering how much you actually use on the surface. But if you go throwing it away, that's no good. So I haven't even opened this yet. I'm going to try it out. We're going to see if this thing preserves. There's some stuck in the cap. Just shake that on there because I'm so thrifty / cheap about some things so that I can not be cheap about others. I mean, like some people would be like, oh, why waste money on a little vacuum like that? And it's like, well, because I don't want to waste money throwing away materials. So get this out of there. Yeah, whatever. People are like, don't be that cheap. There's some all over the lid. We'll just knock that off. Okay. This is a test of how well it preserves this material. Take a little pile. Grab a little cup to throw it in afterwards. Little cup. Cleaned it out from the other stuff, so I mean nothing's glued down, it should just take it off. What the test is how much passes through the filter, because one of the complaints people had for this as an actual keyboard cleaner was that really fine dust, it just sucked up the dust but then it spit it out because this filter wasn't very fine grained. But it actually came with two little discs. Okay, that's all cleaned out. Turn it off and we'll zoom out. It came with two of these little foam discs, and you could cut more out of foam of whatever density you wanted. And I suppose people doing model railroading and layouts in general, dioramas for whatever reason, for wargaming or whatever, might want to use like a nylon or some kind of fabric material over the top of one of these. You could like glue something on or wrap it around or whatever. So anyway, let's see. We'll do the tap thing to get it all down in here. And we'll try and turn it the right way so we don't break it. There we go. And we seem to have all of our little pile of material. And there's some on there. And you'd want to, I guess, clean that off. So let's see what kind of, how easy it is to preserve material with this. Okay, got that. Not even trying to be particularly clean about it. Let's see, we can do this. Scrape a little off. I mean, this is really anal retentive material preservation. I probably wouldn't go this far, but it's the full demonstration, however far you want to go. Now, to make it so that you don't mix materials, although I wouldn't mind mixing some of this earth blend turf with whatever, because it just kind of is going to be all over the layout. Pull out, just pulled it out, blew it off, seems to be good to go. And you can, this types of foam things, same as kind of the filters for a lot of things, and you can just wash these out. I have filters like this on my computer, actually, on over the fans, and you just can pull them out and wash them out. So boom, that's back in there. This I suppose I could wipe out with a paper towel. I might do that if I was trying to not mix materials. Got it off Amazon. Clean up a little bit of spillage that I did because I was not very clean about it. I just like using it. The track's clean, but it's like, man, this thing, I just got it like a couple hours ago, and it was just like, oh man, well maybe I'll try. It's only $12, and Amazon's pretty cool about returning stuff too. And I wasn't going to be sad if this didn't work, but oh my god, it works so much better than I had imagined. The only thing I would actually maybe even like more is if this was like a handle just extending off, so you could hold it like that. But I mean, you can hold it like that, and you can tilt this around so that you can get it in some pretty awkward spots, and you could even take that off. And just use it like that, and that would work. And then it's very small to get in the most awkward of little spaces, like shelf layouts like mine. I plan on having another shelf above, and having multiple modules for the layout above each other with just not that much space in between, a bit, enough for like a light box with like some curve, like, you know, painted on. Blue sky with clouds painted on some white paper with fluorescent behind, so it shines through, so it looks like there's sky and clouds above this while there's still another layer of modules right above. And so a little vacuum like this is going to come in very handy like that. Main point, get one of these. $12. I mean, it's going to save you that probably in like a couple of modules. You'd save that amount of money in just materials that you would throw away that are like either expensive or time consuming to make yourself. So everybody, happy modeling with your mini vacuum. There's a lot of different companies that make these, or not make these, but they're all the same apparently. Looking at it, and I studied industrial design in college, and kind of know a little bit from studying it about consumer products and electronic devices, because I studied product design and product marketing and manufacturing, and they all are, I would swear, made in the exact same factory, from the exact same molds, but some come with more tips than others, and I am probably going to get another one of these because it works so bloody awesome, and they're pretty darn cheap, and I'd be really sad if it broke and I didn't have it to work with until I fixed it. Should be fairly easy to fix as well. It's just a USB powered fan. So yeah, internally it's got a little turbine thing. I picked up some more stuff, so it does tend to get some little gunk around these edges. It's something I might actually put a little gasket on the inside so it doesn't do that. Would be one improvement. So a gasket around here, or a little lip on the inside, 3D printed, or just a piece of, just some tape wrapped around in there, stuck to the inside to create a little flange, so that this stuff doesn't get stuck down in the mounting tabs. More sand. We'll throw that back in the sand bin. So yeah, this is dragging on, but it's worth it because this thing is so awesome. So it's got a little turbine inside, like a little turbine that spins. See it spin there. There's a little bit of curvature to the blades. It's very similar to impeller type blowers for video cards. Feeling the step on the motor for the magnets is a very simple kind of a wide gap, but it feels very strong. So decent motor in there, decent magnetism going on, decent amount of coils and decent natural magnets, or the kind of yeah, I think I cannot remember it's on the tip of my tongue, the word for a magnetic material, for like a magnet that's a natural magnet. And I'm sure they're not neodymium super awesome magnets, but they seem to be pretty good magnets based upon feeling the step. And I've felt a few fan magnet things from doing computer modding and overclocking and water cooling, and then also building 3D printers and having to cool all the parts in those with actually much smaller, you know, like or what's the size of those 20 millimeter and 40 millimeter fans. So anyway, yeah, this thing seems for the price to be totally rock solid, epic buy. This is this is as happy as I've been with an Amazon purchase as I can remember, even though it's just like, I mean, you know, something more expensive you might get more amped up for, and it had the typical horrible Amazon packaging where everything was in a box with like one little piece of like bubble wrap in this big box with like 5 boxes of stuff in it. It was a total joke, but everything survived. Hopefully this thing survived in its little box, and it is definitely thumbs up, worth buying. $12. I'm probably going to actually buy one of the $15 deluxe versions that comes with like 3 or 4 tips. There's even types that just have the cord without the rechargeable for a little couple dollars less if you never want to run out of batteries. But I mean, whatever. I like that, you know, the modelers are going to want the cordless version. So there you go. There's the video for Friday, unexpected weekend of hopefully this thing lasts through the weekend. We'll see. I'll give an update in a couple of weeks to see how the battery life is and how well it works out. But first impression is this thing is just epic, and I mean, again, price is so cheap. I don't think you could really go wrong, especially if you're the kind of person that like foresee even if it breaks, it wouldn't be much of a problem for me to just throw a new battery in there or whatever it takes. I used to do RC cars and stuff, so like, you know, batteries, whatever, it's not a big deal. Word, happy modeling everybody, have a great weekend.